What is happening? What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you can hear me okay. I've got the microphone in a new spot. Please let me know. We're going to be building out some parlays, and I'm going to be giving you out a couple of straight bets using the PropsBot.AI tool throughout the show. So I'm going to try to keep this short, 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes tops. Let's build out some SGPs. We've absolutely smacked a couple lately. If you've been following me, I came one leg off, one Mike Evans touchdown away from a plus 33,000 cashing out for the Discord. However, Mike Evans couldn't get it in a primetime great matchup against the Cowboys. Then he comes out the next week and gets 2+. Isn't that the way it works? That is betting. C'est la vie, right? Cashy, what is going on, brother? It's good to see you. Cashy is on X. Him and I interact and chat all the time. Check him out. He's a good dude. Hooked Up Outdoors with that beautiful fish. I recognize that name and that picture anywhere. What is going on? Hooked Up. Reach out to me on X if you're on there, or hop in the Discord and shoot me a message. Let's exchange some fish picks. I caught an absolute monster last year, and I will tell you more about it. But reach out to me. EA, it sounds like Jesus and Fergie combined. I can think of no greater compliment, except for maybe if we were to say Jesus and who's the guy that voices Mufasa? I can't think of his name. Or Morgan Freeman and that guy. That would be about it. Maybe Denzel. But other than that, thank you, Jack. I can think of no better accomplishment. Good to see you, Cashy. All right, let's talk about plays here. Hopefully it's zoomed in enough. I'm trying to zoom in. It's going to throw the props bot a little bit out of whack, I think, when we get there. But hopefully you guys can see that okay. Right now, I'm looking at Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry anytime touchdown, and Derrick Henry 70+. I also don't mind doing something like Mark Andrews 25+ or something. But Mark Andrews is a guy that, although he's had a huge resurgence lately, he could totally be the guy that all he does this week is catch like 2 touchdowns for, a 4 and a 7-yarder, tacks on one other catch, and he's at 22 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns. That is a Mark Andrews type day potentially. 19.5 point favorites for the Ravens here. So this is an interesting play. If you're going to play Derrick Henry and you have access to Fliff or a couple of these other books, they have Derrick Henry at or around a -160. Take his rushing touchdown as well. Parlay that with the Ravens money line or Ravens -2.5 or something, and that will be a sweet little parlay for you. But I'm going to be building out a little bit more of longer leg parlays, something about the +500 to +3,000, 5,000, whatever. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Bookie. I knew it was something like that. I could not think of it. I said his name the other day, too. James Earl Jones. I believe he passed away, too. So rest in peace. Great. One of the best voices in history. I know everybody talks about Morgan Freeman. Definitely also has a great voice. But, that's the voice, the tone, the essence that I'm going for there. And, unfortunately, not my blessing. Here we go, though. Let's build out an SGP for this game. For something like this, what I've been doing lately is I like to look at like an alt point spread as a decent little thing. So you can do a -9.5. I think Bailey Zappi is quarterback for the Browns. So since it's not a guy like Winston who can maybe put up some points, I don't have a lot of concern with them. 19.5 is kind of steep, guys. I know they're huge favorites, but that's kind of a little bit steep, I'll be honest with you. So I would do something like a -9.5. Maybe look at the over-under. But I probably wouldn't get too hung up on the over-under here or get too much invested. Now, for this one, I like Derrick Henry and I like Mark Andrews as my 2 preferred people in this game. But obviously, you've got Lamar, could always run one in. Zay could catch a long one. Bateman's been hot lately. Likely's always an option. So you've got a couple of guys out here, but these are my 2 favorite, especially if we're trying to build out, let's say, a safer parlay here. I think you could roll this right out and kind of be fine right here. But if you want to add something like, let's take a look. I want to take a look at, so I'm going to use the app version for now. And let's take a look. Wow, look at that anytime touchdown market for Henry. Let's look at his rushing yards. Let's look at his last 10 games. And as you can see right here on the screen, we've got Cleveland here at 73 yards he had in October. So definitely one of his lower games. But let's say, so since we're building out an SGP, while this line is all the way up to 90 something. Where's FanDuel? I thought I saw FanDuel. FanDuel's line should be on here. There it is, 89.5. FanDuel's actually giving us a good line here at this 89.5. You can see that matches 110. FanDuel minus 110. Beautiful. Always good to see when you're live on stream that things are working out. But I'm going to go ahead and do an alt line here for him. And let's see where he really hits it often. 70 plus is pretty good. You could see we have a couple of misses there at 68, 65, and 67. But we have a 70% hit rate over his last 10 games there at that line, and 107.9 average over that span. So we could look at Derrick Henry alt rushing and do 70 plus here. So let's go ahead and throw that on here. And look, you get a plus 400. Now you probably have a boost to use as well. So right now we're at a plus 400 with no boost, with just Derrick Henry and Mark Andrews, and then the Ravens to cover, a 9.5 point favorite spread, which I would think they should. Yeah, let's see. I got you guys. Any worry about the Ravens pulling the start of the second half? Yeah, I mean, I think that's totally a possibility that they do, but the Ravens need to win this game, Lefty. They really do. They need to win. It's not a nothing matchup for them. So I was reading about it this morning because I wanted to make sure I had a full understanding of these Saturday games. The Ravens could clinch the division if the Steelers lose or tie later in the night. However, they won't know that, obviously, when they're playing. So they really got to come out and win. Baltimore can clinch the AFC North and the number 3 seed in the playoffs with a win or a tie against Cleveland. They have to win. So I would expect a normal rollout from this team. The only way they pull their starters, I don't think they pull them early in the second half, would be like a fourth quarter thing. When you see a team up 30, think the Lions a couple of weeks ago, and they were just blowing this team out. I can't think of who they were playing against, but the Lions were blowing them out. And we saw their starters play all the way to the maybe 14, 13-minute mark of that fourth quarter left. So if I get 3/4 of this team, that's kind of what I'm assuming. I'm assuming you're going to get at least 3/4 of a team. NFL doesn't pull their players at halftime very often. I mean, I don't know the data on that, but I know it's rare. They at least see things through because things can change so quickly. So you're going to see at least 3/4 of action from these guys. I do think that they might be a little risk adverse as far as like running Lamar out there. I think they should be at least too, as far as like designed runs and stuff. Now he's always going to take off and run when the pocket breaks down. And if this game ends up being tight, he's going to run like he normally would, but because they do have to win. So I think this is an interesting one. Obviously, if you go 60 plus, you get an even better hit rate here, but I like the 70 plus because the 60 plus is not going to get you. It's not going to get you where you want to be. Oh, that's why passing yards. Let's see, rush. And if we do 60 plus over his last 10, there we go. I mean, if you want 100% hit rate guaranteed, that's fine. Let's take a look at what it would do here. 356 isn't bad. I mean, look at that hit rate, guys. You're basically locking it in. I mean, I don't want to say things are a lock, but you're basically locking it in. Yes, sir, Sergio. Starting off with the Ravens. First game of the week, big week for them. They should win. Set themselves up for a nice playoff matchup next week. I want to a home playoff game, by the way. Cool as Dre. Let me shoot me a message because it's all links right now. It's all links and codes and stuff. Shoot me a hop in the Discord, Dre. I think that's probably the easiest thing. Either hop in the Discord or shoot me a message on socials, and I will send you a link. All right. You automatically, though, by the way, everybody gets a free trial when you sign up for the app. Free 3-day trial right through the App Store. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to click any special links. That is set up for every single person to use. But if you want a little bit sweeter of a free trial, hop in the Discord and I will hook you guys up. All right. I'm going to drop that Discord link in here right now for you if you want it. Discord. And if you don't have a Discord, and I'm going to drop this in here for you. And if you do not have that Discord that you could use, just shoot me a message on X. All right. So yeah, so I think this is a sweet little parlay. This is pretty simple. And if we want to add some legs to it for the other side of the ball, it's really tough because we don't even know. I mean, Bailey Zappi hasn't played quarterback this year, if I'm not mistaken. So who's going to be his guy? Who has he been working with? Has it been Elijah Moore because he's been on the practice squad and working with the second stringers, or working with these guys a little bit more often? Or is it going to be Jerry Jeudy, who's clearly emerged as their number one? Let's take a look at Jerry Jeudy real quick. And there's a reason, though, that I'm just not super comfortable. Is it J-U? No, I think it's J-E-U. About putting these guys in there. It's because I just don't know who's going to be their guy, who's going to be their target. A lot of times these backup quarterbacks come in and they come in and they either have a rapport built with somebody already that's been on the practice squad. So the next thing you know, they start throwing to the number 3 receiver a lot, or they lean on their tight ends, which is pretty common. So if you want to go that route, is Njoku playing? I was going to get a sip of water, but I'll repeat that parlay for you too. I got you, fam. Njoku. All right. It looks like Njoku's playing, but like, so is oh, no lines? Maybe he's not, or maybe there's some question mark around him. Not images. Jerome Ford, all on injured reserve. Okay, so Njoku's not playing, which is why I don't have those lines, which is why you're not seeing anything really come up for him. These must have been early in the week when they didn't know he was playing. So, yeah, I mean, I guess you roll out Judy because there's nobody else there. But this is the play I like right here. Actually, I would probably honestly go 70 plus, but bookie, I got you right here. Here is the parlay, my friend. Ravens minus 9.5. Henry, Andrews, anytime touchdown, and Henry 60 plus. However, do me a favor, put a smaller unit bet on this. It's still a plus 400 for a reason, plus 356. I probably, like I said, I think you're fine, and I'd be comfortable going with this, and then you get the plus 400. But this is a sprinkle smaller unit bet, guys. Don't go crazy with this. Keep it light. Don't go wild with it, all right? So that's the play for this game, and I'm going to go ahead and jump over to this other game because the other game is much better from a betting perspective, all right? Guys, do me a favor. And like the video, and please, I love your comments. Keep them coming. It shows people care about the stream. They're interacting, and it boosts me up the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate it. There you are, Dre. I see you in the Discord, my friend. I've got 20 monitors up. It's like launching the SpaceX shuttle in here. I will, I'll send you. Oh, you got it right here. Hold on. Got you. There you go, my friend. Appreciate your interest either way, though, and being in here and chatting. Bookie, you got the parlay now, right, my friend? I put it up on the screen. You can rewind the video if you have to, but I put it up there for a minute. Let's look at a same game parlay for this. You know, I'm going to probably stay kind of away from the spread on this one. And I'm actually, conversely from the first parlay, I'm just a little bit more interested in the money line here. And I think there's obviously some data out there about teams, division matchups, the second game of the season when they played each other once already, and they're a little bit more familiar with each other. There's some good data out there that it actually usually ends up being lower scoring. But with these two teams, I think you can kind of throw that out the window. And I want to look at something like this. This is the kind of game you could build out. I think Russell's going to have to throw. Let's pull up, while we have FanDuel open, let's pull up Wilson over here on the side. I do like having the app open. One, because who wants to use the desktop, right? Like, am I right? Guys, if you're in here and you use iPhone or Android primarily, which, by the way, we're only on iPhone right now. We're only out on the Apple Store. Android should be coming literally any day. We're just waiting for approval, but the app and everything is obviously done. If you guys use mobile, let me know, because if there's a lot of people that want desktop and they use desktop, there's obviously a desktop available that you'll have access to if you sign up. You know, right here, I can show you that a little bit more. You know, it kind of works the same as the app. But I just got to imagine that, like, in all my research and stuff, that everybody wants mobile. So that's kind of what I built here. Obviously, native mobile app. You don't got to screw around with anything making desktop work for mobile. It is mobile and mobile only. All right. It's perfect. Okay. He got it. Okay. Out City with the terror attacks. Very strong here. Man, Bookie, stay safe, buddy. Stay safe, brother. I mean it. Like, stay safe. There's a lot going on out there. A lot of scary stuff. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep your eyes peeled, and just everybody be safe out there. Yeah. Glad to hear that you're all right, man. And thanks for tuning in here. Let's take a look at, who did I want to pull up? There was somebody I was building it out for. Oh, I want to look at Wilson. I had him open. Couldn't remember what I wanted to look at, and then closed it out. So since we're doing parlays, if you want to do straight bets, this is, you know, kind of the screen you look at. Start scrolling over here, searching for the best odds. Look at the discrepancy here. You've got Caesars at 230, ESPN bet at 224. Look at that, at a minus 130. So if you're going to play the over for this game, if you think this ends up being a little bit of a shootout and Russell Wilson has to play from behind, that is the play for you right there. Play it on ESPN bet. See if we got anybody else with a better line. That was 224. Nope. ESPN bet, giving you the value. But we're going to do an alt line here. Let's see. The last time they played Cincinnati, he shot 414. You know what? I'm fine, honestly, just keeping the line the way it is, probably. 231.5. I really don't have a problem. If you really want to go safe, you could alt down to 200. me see here. Let's do 200. So if you do 200, that's what you get right there. You have a 70% hit rate over the last 10, 233.4 yards per game average. So since we're building out probably a longer legs parlay here, let's keep it to 200 plus. Oh my gosh, 200 plus. That brings me back. That is the sweat we had on Christmas Day. We were sweating out the plus 2,300. And the last leg that needed a hit was Russell Wilson going over 200 passing yards. And my father-in-law and I watched it the whole fourth quarter, and it was brutal to watch. Wilson was overthrowing people. He couldn't hit a receiver on out routes. He couldn't even throw it. He's overlooking his running back wide open as a check down in the middle of the field, and then just to throw it downfield and miss. And like, it was maddening. He got 205 or 206. Cashed it out with like a minute left on the last drive. They were handing it off. Infuriating. But needless to say, we cashed that out. That was just on Christmas. That was wonderful to cash that out with everybody. So I think I'm going to play the 200 plus here for Russell Wilson. And then for Joe Burrow, I'm really thinking you could go 225 or 250. But let's take a look at Joey B here. Whoops, he's right there. Look at Lamar's lines. I'm going to show you guys something in a minute and do a little bit of, I'll close it out with that. That'll be a little bit of a backtrack, but I think it'll be worth seeing. Let's take a look. I mean, look at this 250 plus. What is that? 8 games in a row he's hit that? And you go 250 plus here. You could even, if you really want to get a little crazy though, just go Joe Burrow 300 plus or something. Let's look at his passing touchdowns. Oh my goodness. 200, it's 2.5. You know what? Just do the 2 plus. Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it. That's not getting us much though. Wait, are we getting taxed here? I feel like we're getting taxed. 121. Yeah, we're getting a little bit taxed there for the correlation there. But you're still getting better odds. It's just not as much as I feel like it should be. Let's go back to Wilson. I should go player by player just because it's a little easy. Whoops, not Wilden. A little bit easier to sort through. Guys, while I'm looking, make sure you like the video. I don't want to be that guy that has to look it up, but I'll do it. Yeah, his touchdowns kind of are unpredictable, his passing touchdowns. But look, if you just alt it down to 1 plus, you got an 80% hit rate there. He's got to throw the ball, right? You're not getting much out of it, though. Do we think he gets 2 plus? Man, he has not hit 2 plus very often. Last 20 games. So that goes a little bit back into last season. We're going to be updating that in the next update. Excited to share that. 2 plus gives you a 50% hit rate over the last 10, 60% over the last 5. Let me take a look at something real quick. Give me 1 second. A little metric here to the quarterback. I just want to see how many passing touchdowns the Bengals have allowed. They're actually, am I missing them? I'm not seeing them. Oh, yeah, they're one of the worst. They've allowed 29 passing touchdowns on the season. That's the 4th highest in the league. So, you know, it's a good matchup. Let's say we go 2 plus. Do I want to go 2 plus? Do I really want to? Do we want to parlay that's likely to hit at the lower amount here, though? Like a lower, like a plus 300, 400? Like, I can build those out in my sleep. But, like, are we having fun with that, though? If we're not having fun with that, let's put a little sprinkle bet and go a little wild on it. You know, let's do 2 plus. Let's do 2 plus for both. Let's assume this stays the shootout we think it's going to be. And then I just really want to dig in on 1 or 2 more things and kind of keep it simple here. T. Higgins has a lot of incentive this week to do well. He's obviously been franchise tagged this year. He keeps trying to get his contract, can never get it. I saw some talk that, like, you know, if he decides to sit out or something, you know, he could in theory sit out, and it would really force the Bengals' hand this offseason to give him a contract. I don't think he does that personally. I just don't see him doing that. We had Jermaine Burton did not travel with the team. Some interesting news there. I think that that could open up something for Illy. But let's see. ILO or IOL, right? IOL? No, iOS. Not even close. Let's take a look at his reception yards. Look at that. I mean, I think we throw Illy's 28.5 in there. Doesn't really seem to matter if it's 25 or 28. There doesn't seem to be a big separation there. So if we throw that in there and then just do something like do T, and we could look at T's and then do, man, it's scary not to take Chase. Let's look at receptions real quick, if you will allow me. I want to look at Chase, there's his yardage. That one crazy game is throwing off the whole chart. So 6+ is pretty safe, if you guys notice that. So if you want like a 6+, you could go T. Wow. It's not that great right there. I'm going to be honest, that's really not like enough for me to really warrant adding the risk to the parlay. Don't forget, guys, if you're not super familiar with building out parlays, every play you add adds inherent risk. So if plays are, have 70, 80% probabilities on their own, that's Apple correct. Just leave me alone. Okay. I got the extra space there. There we go. But every leg you add to this, you're lowering the chance of success. Okay. Just keep that in mind. I think we see a T. Higgins. Look at his receptions. Easy peasy. So 5+. How's T's 5+ look? 80% hit rate. 5+. That's a little bit better. And now you're just looking at a T. Higgins game here. I mean, you've always got Jamar Chase. So I don't think we need to lean too much in on this. I think there's always it's pretty safe playing him. But you know what? Instead of that, maybe let's just take his yards. Let's just alt his yards down to 70+ or something. There you go. And then George Pickens, last guy I'll look up is George Pickens here. Oh, and then I'll throw a touchdown onto it. We got to throw a touchdown onto it. Look at this. Player cards, player images for most guys. I don't know why we have some and not others, but we're going to work on that. We'll look at that. We only can use the data we have. Yeah, I think he has a better week. Let's see. Oh, he didn't play. Did he not play against Cincinnati when they played before? I don't think he played against Cincinnati. Oh, there he is right there, 74. Oh, they just played him. Okay. So, yeah, I would do George Pickens 60+ or something. There you go. That's a plus 1,400. It's 10 legs. It's a little steep. If you want to keep it simpler, this is something here. Let's see. Touchdowns. I like Jamar Chase. Obviously, it's a touchdown. Actually, like T quite a bit at a minus 115. If you were to give me these two plays as just straight plays, both same odds, I'd take Chase. But given the fact that we're getting so much better odds here on Higgins, I think I like Higgins here. Obviously, Pickens is an interesting play. And another guy I think you could take a look at this week is either Illy or Freiermuth. But that's pretty much it. Those are the guys I'm interested in. Not really interested in a lot of running back stuff, although they could definitely sneak in for a touchdown here. Let me see if I can shore this baby up a little bit. So if we want to, let's do T. Okay, this is how we're going to make it a little bit better with less into the mix here. So we think these guys are going to have a good game. You want to build out a parlay with a narrative in mind, okay? So we're saying high-scoring game, obviously throwing the ball. Can we put longest reception in here? Oh, yeah, okay. Do the George Pickens longest reception. Do longest pass completion. Oh, you can't combine that. Okay. Because we've got the Joe Burrow 250+. And just take that out. Oh, you still can't. All right, well then let's keep the Joe 250. Let's keep the 250+ in there then. Joe Burrow 250+. So we're already up to a 433, and this is where I think we'll be able to build a little bit quicker here. You know what? I'm gonna take Illy off. And for this one, I'm gonna go Pickens 80+, Chase 100+, and Higgins. You could do his line stick to 70+. And now you're just looking for a couple of things. I mean, you've got 7 outcomes, but it's really just a passing game, a passing attack. If you think one guy's going to have the game, like if it's going to be a Jamar Chase week, then just do this, okay? Then I assume Pickens is getting some targets here. He's probably going 80+. He's probably even going a little bit higher. But just do Jamar Chase at 100+. Wow, you're not even getting that great because his line's so high already. Do Jamar Chase at that, and you can do Jamar Chase touchdown. That's a plus 1,100. You're looking at, I know it says, what does it say? 7 selections, but it's really just, let's see, do we get better odds? No, we probably don't. It's really just Pickens and Chase to have a big game and Burrow and Russ to throw them the ball. That's it. That's all you're looking at. So if you're building out these parlays, don't just randomly select stuff that doesn't have any kind of narrative or matchup at all. This is how you want to be building them out. Game script this out. If we think it's going to be an under, my parlay would look a lot different. Let me just, am I logged in? No, I'm not logged in. Hold on one second. This is why my tracking has to be done manually, because I log everything in and I log these big plays just to track them. So I'm just going to sprinkle this bet in here. Okay. All right. I sprinkled that in, and now I'm going to go ahead and let's build out one more. Let's build out an under one. Okay. Everybody's on the over, right? Listen, if you believe that anything's, that there's any foul play involved at a level or anything, then let's build out an under. Let's build out an under 284, because that is a high line here. And listen, I saw Russ struggle to get there. Let's do an anti-correlated slip. Let's do Pickens gets all the yards. Oh, look at that already. Pickens gets a lot of yards. And do we think Chase gets a lot of yards? Or is it Higgins? If it's a Higgins week, look at that. They both go under, but these guys go over. 4 legs plus 2,000. Let me know if you guys have ever, Ilio Silvas, or I don't know, is that his name? Ilio Silvas, I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be way wrong, but it was a good effort. Sergio, I agree with you. But look at this. This is a plus 2,000, and we need 4 things. 4 leg plus 2,000. And I didn't even put any touchdown plays in here. If we're playing these guys for a day like this, watch what happens when you put their touchdowns in here. Put Pickens in here and put Higgins. 4 guys. Chris T. My man, Chris T. Listen, don't be a stranger, Chris. I miss you. I miss chatting with you. Golf season's here, my friend. Do not be a stranger. Look at us, my friend. We are building out an anti-correlation slip. That's a plus 7,000. Easy. Now, this isn't a full unit bet or anything like that. I promised you guys I would give you guys away at least 1 or 2 straight bets, because that is where I bet most of the time. But, listen, I'm a sports bettor. I enjoy doing this. I'm a degenerate. I like placing parlays, and we've been smacking parlays left and right. Plus 2,200, plus 7,000, plus 700. I know we hit the other day a plus 600 college football one. This is all within like the last week. I like this one. I think this is an interesting slip. Now, it's a plus 7,000 for a reason, so don't go crazy, everybody. All right? But I'm going to go ahead and snip this and drop this in the Discord as one of my DGen plays. I'm just going to put $3 on it to win $200, because it's a plus 7,000 for a reason. All right, guys? If you expect me to cash these out all the time, you're expecting too much of me. You think too highly of me. Just got to drop this in the Discord for the fam. There we go. So this is an anti-correlated slip here. I really like building something like this out. You can get a lot of good odds here with building it out. Matter of fact, I wonder real quick, before I give out the straight plays, let's talk about straight plays here. But can I do a correlated slip with Andrews touchdown and then his receiving? Under 33.5 is not much room, but that's interesting. You get a little bit of value there. So if he's like only going to come down and catch a short touchdown, I just wanted to see what that would be. I mean, it ain't bad for a plus 600, but it's not probably the direction I'm going to end up going this week, because under 33.5 yards is not a lot. However, he's been their red zone guy. He had a big week last week, didn't he? Let's take a look. PropsBot. Tell me what Mark Andrews did last week. Oh, look at that. You're right on it. It's right on it. Look at that. 68 yards. Wow, look at him. When he blows up, he's super consistent. When he blows up every time, it's right there. He blows up right there every single time. And then otherwise, if you remove that out as like the noise, and those are like the outliers, his average line is probably like 27. Right in there. I'd say maybe a little bit higher. I don't think I'm giving him enough credit. I would say it's probably his average right there. 31 to 31.5 right on the season is his average. If you remove out these outliers and just say like, okay, what does he normally do? You've got a little up, little down there. Just some interesting stuff. Just chatting with you. Sergio, appreciate you, my friend. Christy, we smacked the books for plus 152 units in 15 days of darts. Beast. Just killing it. All right, so the last one, like I said, I want to give you guys some straight plays. Let me take a look here. Most of them are kind of similar props here. Actually, you know what? Let's pull them up on PropsBot. So, guys, if you want the app, reach out to me for sure, or you can just go right here on the website. You can got a link to the Discord. There's tutorials. There's a link to the blog I do over here, which I'm a little behind on putting out. Free plays there all the time. The link on Apple is working. Click it. It opens it up right there. As you can see on the Apple App Store, this link is not working just yet. We're waiting on Android approval, but the app is obviously done and everything. Yeah, just scroll through, take a look. Let me know if you guys have any questions. And if you do download it, please feel free to drop me a 5-star review and a little review comment once you've used the app. I appreciate you guys. All right, let's look at a couple of my favorite plays here. George Pickens, longest reception. Woof. Now, let's see. What did we get it at? Last night, it was 25.5 on Fliff. You could still get it. A minus 130, 25.5 on Fliff. Look at this value. This is one of the things with the tool, guys, is you can come here and use this confidence score, okay? And I can explain the confidence score. You know, most streams I'll probably have to do a better job of explaining what the confidence score is, but just reach out to me or whatever. But basically, the confidence score, our AI algorithm here gives you every single play a confidence score here. So this confidence score of a 0.46, you know, you might look at that and say, oh, it's red, it's not good. Okay, yes, but you have to look at it in relation to the other plays that are also available too. So if we're looking at longest reception for today, it's tied for the highest value of plays at a 0.46. All right, so let's look at the George Pickens play. You can see why the books like it. Let's put it at the 25.5 that we're getting it, which doesn't actually change anything. But, I mean, he's got a 70% hit rate on this line over the last 20 games, averaging 32.15, 35, though, over the last 10, and 5 out of 5 he's hit it and averaging 35.8 longest reception yards. So I like this play. Play it on Fliff if you have access to it. But if you come here, one of the values that I was getting at here is, you know, if you want to use the confidence score, great. I think it's a great tool to use. Another thing you can do is like, hey, I know what play I want. Find me the best odds. And there you go. You've got 12, 14 books right here. I don't know, 10, 14, whatever. And the best odds are always going to be up in here. The best odds are going to be right here for you at the most common line. So the most common line right now on the books is 28.5. And that is why we have ESPN Bet at a minus 115 there, because that is the best odds that you can get for that play. But Fliff, minus 130, 25.5. I also saw BetMGM, but they are getting taxed there. So this is great value, guys. This could even be considered basically like a plus EV play here. All right, so if you are into that sort of thing, Fliff, minus 130. I got you. Sergio, first score. All right, we'll do that real quick. This is a straight play. I'll give you guys one more straight play. If you watched my video last night, we already talked about it. It's not hard to see why. Some of these plays are ones I love. Which one do I want to pick? Which one do I want to pick? You know what? I think this is probably still my favorite play. Where? There he is. There he is. Yeah, this is probably my favorite one. I lean over the third parlay or play that I dropped in the Discord. But look at this. Jamar Chase, 26.5. Wow, it's 25.5 here on Fliff. Look at that. I'm going to put that down on Fliff here. That's great value right there. I'll take the slight tax to get another yard. Because when you're talking about these plays, when you're talking about over-unders, you know, over under 92.5 yards, you know, a yard here and there, 90 to 92.5 might not make a huge difference. The smaller the line, the more difference that makes, the greater that difference becomes. Because as the line shrinks, that difference throws your percentage off even more at a higher, faster rate. So when you're talking about a line that's like 25, that's pretty low. These guys consistently get 24-yard catches, 23-yard catches. I want every discount I can get with it. So I'm going to take Fliff at a 25.5 right here. So that is my other straight play for you guys. Jamar Chase. Sorry, I didn't mean to clap right into the mic here. Let's look at first touchdown props, shall we? Now, the first touchdown props, confidence score, take it with a grain of salt, guys. These are more difficult plays to predict. These are one of the, if not the most difficult plays to predict. So, you know, it obviously has a low confidence score for a reason. Even the 0.22, I know you say, oh, that's really high. Yes, it is, but these are still volatile plays, okay? So first touchdown for Derrick Henry, best odds we have available is at plus 260 on Fliff. Let's take a look. You know what? Let's just pull it up over here because I don't want to go to FanDuel anymore. All right, if we want to do a first touchdown, something I've been doing is a first touchdown for both of these games when we have a 2-game slate. First touchdown for this game, it'd be hard not to go Henry. Honestly, I'd just go my other favorite. I'd go Mark Andrews. Man, you really could convince me also the third guy would be um mm, mm, mm. I like taking these as a little bit more of like a lottery pick. Now, in the first half, you're going to get Lamar that was willing to run. So you just got so many weapons, and it's so many guys here that could get the first touchdown. I think for this, I'm going to lean. Let's just look at it for the Baltimore game first. Mm. Put me on the spot. I haven't really given this a lot of thought yet. And to be honest, guys, there's not like this magical formula algorithm like equation. My process is essentially who do I like to score a touchdown? And then who do I think is usually I'll lean like the better offense to score first. So in this game, I think that points us to Baltimore. So if it puts us in the direction of Baltimore, now it's like, okay, how do we narrow it down? One thing I would say is Derrick Henry at a plus 260. Is he the most likely guy to score the first touchdown? Yeah, he is. That's why he's a plus 260. But I don't love his odds. A plus 260 for the first touchdown, that's not that great. Could we get it? And that's a plus 260. Great. Yippee, we're having fun. But I like to look at more of like the Mark Andrews area or a little bit higher. So I think I would lean Mark Andrews here. I think I'm going to lean Mark Andrews here on the first touchdown. Obviously, Derrick Henry is statistically more likely to score. So if you just want the sure play, the easier, safer play, go Derrick Henry. But my pick would be Mark Andrews. Now, this chart is going to show touchdowns. This doesn't show. I don't know what that's showing. I'm gonna have to look at that. I think it shows. I thought it was oops. I thought it was supposed to show touchdowns, but it looks like it's showing something else. Let me look at that. Is first touchdown showing for are these just his touchdowns? Oh yeah, it's just his touchdowns. Is that right? Andrews has scored that many touchdowns in a row? Okay. I thought there was an error with the app. My apologies. The first touchdown data is just touchdowns. It's not first touchdown. This data down below. But I will look into that. I don't know if we have access to that actually as a data point. So it's just going to show touchdowns in general on the season right now. So that is something that I'm glad I shared though. But let's see. I think I lean Mark Andrews for the first touchdown. You could also do first team touchdowns, which I don't have on here. No, I don't have those on here. But let me show you where those guys are real quick here. NFL first. See, I think you can do it. Oh, no, you can't. DraftKings, I think, has the first team touchdown stuff. It does not look like it's available. Might not be available here. No, not available on FanDuel, so I can't show you that. Okay, but first team touchdown is also interesting. For Mark Andrews, you probably get like a plus 400, something like that. That's also an interesting way to go. That way, if the Cleveland Browns somehow score first or score the first touchdown, you're still in the running. You're not dead in the rival. So I would say let's go Mark Andrews for first touchdown, and then let's flip over to the other game. And, you really have to kind of look at both sides of the ball here because I could easily see either one of these teams scoring first. But, I think I'd go T. Higgins. I think I'd go T. Higgins. I would go T. Higgins and Mark Andrews. I would not fault you if you're a degenerate like me and you build out one of each, okay? Go in there, build out a Mark Andrews one, and then a T. Higgins for a tiny sprinkle. Go out there, build a Mark Andrews and Jamar Chase one for a tiny sprinkle too. Both tiny sprinkles. You lose both of them. You're not out a lot of money. But if one of them, if Mark Andrews hits, you're sitting pretty with two options for the second game. Now, yes, they're both on the same team. Usually I like to split the teams and stuff too. But, for touchdowns, I love George Pickens, but like not a huge red zone guy. So you could always go Najee Harris, obviously, but like hasn't scored in 3 straight weeks. It's a crapshoot, guys. All right. Like I said, I don't have the formula here, but listen, T, you heard it here first, right? That's my play. My preference is go T. Higgins first touchdown, Mark Andrews first touchdown, roll it out there. I like the odds. All right. I like the odds you're going to get, the plus value. You're getting over a plus 700 for both of them each individually. It's going to put you somewhere around, man, I should, plus 700s. It's probably like a plus 4,000, I think, or 3,000, somewhere around there. You know how it is. Chase and Henry. Chase and Henry's pretty safe, Sergio. Listen, you could tell me a decent amount of guys from these games, and I'm not going to tell you no because it's that much of a crapshoot. It really is that much of a lotto ticket. Treat it as such. But yeah, let me throw this back up here. You get it. DGen boys in the chat, we're looking at TD props. We looked at TD props. We looked at first TD props, which are the true DGen plays. We looked at a first TD We looked at a first TD prop parlay. That is what we're going to do. That's where we're going to end it. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. PropsBot.AI, everybody gets a free trial. Free 3-day trial. All you do is click into it in the Apple App Store. Try it out. Let me know what you think. FanDuel's not offering Andrew's first touchdown. Ooh, let's see. Sergio, do you have Fliff or any other books? All right, here you go, my friend. Ready? You've got DraftKings, Caesars, ESPN Bet, Fliff, Bet Rivers, Ballybet, BetMGM, Bovada, and Hard Rock Bet all have Andrew's first touchdown. So Sergio, I hope you have one of those books. Download the app, my friend. DraftKings, perfect. Plus 700. You're looking great there. You're looking great there. Caesars has the best odds at a plus 750. I got you, my friend. But PropsBot, guys, download it. It's that simple. You guys could use that. Get yourself the best odds. Don't play poor odds and let the books get their money from you. They might get some of it anyways. Don't give them any extra help. They don't need any extra help. Like I said, guys, PropsBot.AI is the website. Click right here. You can go to the Apple. You can go directly to the Apple App Store. You'll get access to the mobile version, the native mobile iOS app version right here, which is super slick and great. And you'll also get access with that login information to then go over and sign up for it on desktop. I'm happy you're in here. I apologize for the inconvenience you had. We had to reset all the user base last night, and our timing was not great. That's what happens when you're working with multiple teams in different time zones. Our timing wasn't great. It was supposed to be done last night before we went live, and it got done after the fact, and I couldn't stop it. It was like a hurricane, a tsunami coming in that I just had to stand there and yell no at, and it doesn't listen to me. So I'm glad I assume you got back in, T, and I'm happy for that. We almost hit the full slate last week. Listen, we're there. We're right there. I mean, I'm not complaining about cashing out plus 2,200s. I will not be complaining about that. I think I cashed out a plus 5,000 recently or something. Like, I'm not going to complain about that. But we had a week where we almost cashed out a plus 7,000, a plus 14,000, and a plus 33,000. And I know almost doesn't count, but it was one playoff. And it was a Mike Evans anytime touchdown play. If you had given me any play on the board that week and said, hey, pick your favorite play, that would have been right up there. So I felt good going into the game. I hedged a little bit, but I didn't cash out. I was bold for the fam, and I did not win, but that's all right. We're right there. We're right there, all right? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I told you guys, going to get sick of me. I'm going to be streaming all the time now. Appreciate you guys coming in here. We had 138 people across the multiple platforms. Thank you guys for your support. As always, I really appreciate it. It is never lost on me. I like hanging out here. I like that we can do these live shows now, and the PropsBot app makes it just so much easier and so easy in general. And we've got some new features already being worked on. We're only going up from here, guys. All right. But I appreciate you guys. Please feel free to share, because my biggest problem is going to just be letting people know PropsBot exists. So take a look at the app. If you like it, feel free to share. Friends and family, happy to give out some codes to everybody. I will be getting better at doing codes and stuff like this, promotional stuff on the stream in the next couple of days. So just give me a couple of days to stop my head from spinning and get my feet under me. And have a great Saturday, guys. Enjoy your NFL Saturday of football betting. And remember, bet smart and win more.